What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video, I'll be adding in another part to the What If Naruto's Senju series. And, basically, due to me being on the 2020 grind, let's get it. If you guys do want another part to this, since I'm kind of restarting some of the like goals, 1.5 thousand likes on this Naruto Senju What If, and you will get another part within a week. Anyways, as usual, I'll be recapping the last part of the What If, then jumping into the story, and so, without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last part of this What If, we essentially dealt with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura making it through the Shonen exams after a little bit of scuffles in the Forest of Death in particular, and we also made it through the preliminaries of the Shonen exams. After this, we left off with Naruto along with the rest of his team and every other genin that made it to this stage, training and going on their 1 month training arc. Now, that is where we'll jump right back into the story. Now, like I said, we left off with Naruto along with the rest of Team 7, finishing the Chunin exams up to the preliminaries. This means that Naruto is going to start his 1 month training in order to gain all the strength and power that he needs to beat his rival Sasuke Uchiha and the ones who stand between him in that fight, being Neji Hyuga. So, due to Kakashi training with Sasuke, Kakashi assigns another instructor to train Naruto during that time. Naruto, however, has other plans of what he's going to do, so he decides to ditch his training with Ebisu, and for the time being, go practice and go off and, practice his own jutsu. When Naruto does go off to do some solo training, he decides that his main abilities in combat should be based off of his advantages. He has a nature release that, as far as he knows, no one else can do, and he has a massive reserve of chakra that almost no one else can match. These two things combined with Naruto's ridiculously wild imagination can make some extremely dangerous, unique wood style techniques. After a few days of training, Naruto was able to use wood style to transform his own body, rather consistently being able to make shields, weapons, and even shoot wood-based projectiles without weaving any hand seals prior. He is also working on some unique wood style abilities involving the substitution jutsu and his wood clone. After a bit of training, however, Naruto stumbles across an ability that opens up many possibilities for him. The ability for his wood style to suppress chakra, which he discovers when sparring with a wood clone that actually does this to him accidentally. Now, while this is something that he may have done occasionally on accident, now that he knows that using wood style can suppress the amount of chakra that someone has to even his own degree, that basically means that he is much more powerful than he thought. After this discovery, however, Naruto gets hungry and decides to go into the village and get some food and refuel so he can go back to training. While in the village, Naruto encounters an old man with stark white hair, drooling as he sees women pass by him. Naruto tries to avoid this obvious pervert, but his efforts remain futile as Jiraiya approaches him, telling him the importance of the legendary Seinen toad, being Jiraiya. When hearing this, Naruto just turns to the old man. "I think I'll call you Pervy Sage." Naruto then turns his back to him to get some ramen and get some food, then some training in. Jiraiya sees that his title obviously won't convince Naruto, so he grabs his shoulder. "Do you want to learn to control that beast inside of you?" Naruto turns to Jiraiya with a serious look. Naruto then hesitantly looks at Jiraiya as he didn't realize that basically anyone else knew about the monster inside of him, being the Kyuubi. Jiraiya then walks off with Naruto in hot pursuit, hoping to learn something about this old pervert and hoping to learn how he knows about the Kyuubi within his seal. Naruto, basically when they arrive to the middle of the wood, Jiraiya tells Naruto to lift his hands above his head. Naruto complies, lifting his hands over his head. Then Jiraiya slams 5 fingers into Naruto's stomach as he uses the 5-pronged seal to loosen the seal on Kurama to a great extent, allowing for Naruto to be able to tap into the Kyuubi's chakra much more easily than he would have before. "What did you do to me?" Naruto asks this as he coughs a little bit from his injuries. "I merely allowed you to tap into a greater amount of power. In due time, I shall teach you how to harness it, but first..." Jiraiya then summons a scroll and unfurls it, revealing the summoning contract which he tells Naruto to sign. "I first need to see where your skill level is at before the training starts." Naruto nods as Jiraiya shows him the hand seals for summoning a toad, and Naruto practices it a few times before he tries the real deal. Naruto then bites on his thumb, drawing blood, and weaves some hand seals. With this amount of chakra, he might be able to summon a decent sized toad on the first try. At least this is what Jiraiya thinks. Then, when Naruto's hand hits the ground and the seal spreads across the ground, With a plume of smoke, Jiraiya sees that without any help or any indication of him even being tired, Naruto with his base amount of chakra alone summons Gamabunta, a toad that even Jiraiya would struggle to summon like this. What an interesting kid. Naruto stands atop the toad, confused as he did not expect this. Gamabunta starts talking, demanding that Jiraiya explain why he was summoned. Jiraiya breaks down the situation to him as Gamabunta hears this, and he decides to put Naruto under a trial to see if he is truly worthy of wielding him as his summon. So, Naruto's goal is to stick to Gamabunta's skin until the sun goes down. Naruto takes this challenge seriously as he uses wood style to pin himself to Gamabunta's skin, also using the chakra sticking abilities that he learned in the Land of Waves. So, with both Gamabunta and Jiraiya being surprised, Naruto was able to stick to Gamabunta for the allotted amount of time, meaning that Gamabunta on occasion will allow him to use him as a summon. Then, he poofs away, making Naruto fall to the ground. After this, Jiraiya realizes that this jutsu was supposed to take Naruto almost a full month to do, yet, due to his incredibly massive chakra reserves, Naruto was able to handle this jutsu within one day. Naruto, sweating and breathing, turns to Jiraiya. So, are you going to teach me to tame this beast or not? Jiraiya bursts into laughter as he hears Naruto ask this. Yes, I will teach you to control the QB within you. But first, I must go perform some research tonight, so train yourself and meet me here in the morning, ready for training. Naruto nods and Jiraiya disappears, using body flicker to leave and go get his research. Naruto sits down with his eyes closed as he starts formulating some ideas of how he can use wood style to beat the likes of geniuses like Neji and Sasuke. During this time, he decides to practice against wood clones, trying to brainstorm ideas until Jiraiya comes back in the morning to train Naruto. Now, when Jiraiya starts the training, basically, he begins by explaining how Naruto will enter the seal by focusing on the chakra signature or the multiple chakra signatures within his body and follow it to the seal. After you get within the seal, you first need to ask the Kibi for chakra. If he refuses, use your wood style. It should be able to help you with that. He then goes to explain that the wood style could suppress Biju level chakra if he is strong enough. Naruto then follows Jiraiya's instruction and meets face to face with the Kyuubi for the first time. Hey you, Kyuubi, if you're gonna live inside of me, you're gonna need to pay some rent around here. Lend me some of your chakra, now. Kurama then laughs at the prospect of helping Naruto. Help you? A Senju? I'd rather die. You remind me of your great-grandfather, Hashirama, who captured me. If you think I'll help you, you're sorely mistaken. Naruto then laughs hearing this. My great-grandfather captured you? Huh, your father did too. Ha, well I guess that trait runs in the family. Naruto then slams his hands together as the trees sprout from this area and wrap around Kurama, slamming him to the floor within the seal. How are you? Naruto then tightens his grip as the trees seem to tighten on Kurama, keeping him down. Do you want to give me chakra now, or would you rather me beat you up some more and take it? Naruto's completely bluffing, however, when he says this. Naruto knows that the only reason that Kurama is being subjugated by him, being basically taken down like this, is due to him being off guard. And, even if holding Kurama down like this is possible, he won't be able to last more than a couple of minutes, even with Naruto's near infinite reserves of chakra, although Kurama doesn't have to know this. Naruto then makes a quick last effort as he uses his wood style to yank a ton of chakra from Kurama, and it all goes into Naruto's body. Kurama, however, starts getting angry and pulling against Naruto, trying to escape him. Naruto releases the jutsu, acting as if he could have easily restrained him once again. Next time, when I come for chakra, I expect my rent, or else I'm taking all of it. Naruto then releases himself from the seal, entering the real world. Naruto's body jolts up after he steals some of Kurama's chakra, and Jiraiya asks if he is okay. Naruto stands up shakily and summons the chakra that he took from Kurama, and Naruto finds himself cloaked in orange chakra that makes him feel much stronger and faster than he normally would be. This kid has some serious potential. Jiraiya looks at Naruto and realizes that these were both abilities that Jiraiya wanted to train Naruto over the entire month, yet they still have 2 weeks left to train. This prompts Naruto to ask if the two can spar against each other. Although Jiraiya would rather teach him some more jutsu, Jiraiya does decide that Naruto fighting with wood style and practicing his newfound skills in battle should be useful. So, for the next few weeks, Naruto and Jiraiya spar. Each and every time, Naruto growing closer and closer to being able to make Jiraiya seriously fight, and at the end of the month, Naruto has gained a massive amount of fighting experience along with him learning a few new abilities. So, with the final day approaching, Jiraiya wishes Naruto luck, and Naruto runs off, ready to fight Neji, and fight his way to becoming a Chunin. After the training, Naruto arrives to the Chunin exams arena, where he sees Neji already on the field, ready to fight, and looking as overconfident as ever. When Naruto walks up to him, Neji tells Naruto that Naruto won't even touch him within this fight. Naruto scoffs at this remark and gets ready to fight. When the proctor says to go, Naruto starts by leaping back as far from Neji as possible. Naruto concentrates a massive amount of chakra onto his feet and leaps at Neji, going at full speed. Neji ducks this attack and then counters, hitting Naruto in the chest with a gentle fist. Naruto coughs up blood, then poof, showing that it was a substitution. Naruto then makes shadow clones that all attack Neji simultaneously. Neji uses the palm rotation to block all of the clones, making them all poof. Neji smiles, clearly confident in himself based on how the fight is going. Naruto, after realizing the weakness within this 8 trigrams 360 palm rotation technique, decides to do the same attack, throwing more shadow clones at it and basically forcing Neji to use the palm rotation once again. After this, Naruto clenches his fist as hard as he can and Neji's cocky expression changes. He basically looks down at his leg and sees a thick root has wrapped itself around his leg. When did you? Neji, you think your defense is so ultimate and powerful, yet it doesn't cover such a massive weak spot, huh? Naruto then closes his fist even tighter as a root grows tighter and tighter around Neji's leg, keeping it in place. Now, if I remember correctly, you said I wouldn't land a single hit on you. Let's see about that. Naruto then rushes Neji, who can't move with his one leg, and once Naruto gets within striking distance, he starts barraging Neji with punches to the face and the stomach, utterly destroying Neji completely in this fight. And as Naruto continues to punch Neji, Neji sees Kurama's chakra take form until Naruto throws his arm back for one final attack and swings it, connecting with Neji's jaw and sends him flying to the other end of the arena, ending the fight right there. Naruto then turns to the crowd, who sits there stunned as the prodigious Hyuga lost to a nobody in their eyes. Naruto gazes across the crowd until he sees Gaara, who is staring at him intently. This gesture unnerves Naruto initially, but Naruto looks back with just as much intensity after staling himself a little bit. Then, Naruto disappears from Gaara's vision and appears next to him with his hand on his shoulder, surpassing the speed of Gaara's hand. Naruto then pats him twice, displaying the ability to bypass Gaara's defense, and then walks off, leaving Gaara extremely confused and furious. Gaara's heart starts racing at the prospect of another person being able to bypass his sand, and he considers striking Naruto while his back is turned with the sand coffin. However, he restrains himself, knowing that he'll be able to fight him later. Naruto continues to walk away and breaks into a cold sweat after this. Naruto then sighs as he feels the pressure from Gaara's bloodlust has dissipated, and as Naruto walks off, he worries about Sasuke's well-being against a monster like Gaara. Now, all of the events after Naruto and Gaara's confrontation go the same way until the fight with Sasuke and Gaara is cut off by Gaara going kinda dumb. After this, he runs off, with Naruto being woken up from a genjutsu and sent after Sasuke. Naruto instantly rushes off at top speed to catch Sasuke and Gaara, and while on the way, he's able to come to the realization that they are being followed, or he is being followed by Chunin, which results in Shikamaru sacrificing himself to hold off the Chunin, similar to the original. After this, Naruto and Sakura arrive on the scene in time to see Sasuke fighting Gaara, and Naruto is horrified, seeing that his rival and friend is being brutalized by this monster. When Gaara goes in for the last attack on Sasuke, Naruto overcomes the initial fear that he had of Gaara, and comes in flying and kicking him in the face and keeping Sasuke relatively safe from that final attack. Naruto then clasps his hands together, and all of the trees within that forest converge onto Gaara's single point and make a huge impact on Gaara, making a large shockwave when they hit. After this happens, Naruto turns to tell Sasuke and Sakura to run, but is then hit by Gaara, who leapt into the air and slammed his fist down onto Naruto's head, sending him to the ground at rapid speeds. When Naruto hits the ground, he coughs up blood and sees Gaara leaping down towards him. Gaara then stomps at Naruto's throat, or stomps onto Naruto's throat, seemingly killing him and cutting off his airway at the same time, until a log appears, revealing that he substituted the attack. Naruto then comes from above with a wooden lance in his hand and comes down at Gaara. And just when Gaara is ready to counter the seemingly harmless log sprouts a ton of branches that grab Gaara's limbs, holding him in place, until Naruto is able to stab Gaara's sand arm, pinning him down. Then, Naruto leaps back, hoping that was able to keep him restrained as Gaara passes out. Naruto limps to go back to his friends, but hears something stir behind him. With Gaara passing out, Shukaku is released, breaking the weak restraint which Naruto used. Shukaku then shoots a wind bullet where Sasuke and Sakura are perched at, hoping to take them away and take away Naruto's reinforcements. although Naruto appears in front of them, shielding them with not only his body, but with a wood shield used to protect them as well. This results in Naruto's back being bloodied and beaten completely as he lies on top of Sakura and Sasuke, both of them or all of them dazed from that attack. When Naruto does get up, tons of blood drips from his back onto the ground, forming a sort of puddle. Naruto then puts his finger to the blood and weaves some hand seals, summoning Gamabunta on the battlefield. "Chief, I need you to hold this beast off only for a few minutes until I can activate my plan." Gamabunta reluctantly agrees to this, saying that Naruto will owe him a favor, and he starts fighting against Shukaku. Meanwhile, Naruto is making wood clones that are spreading around the battlefield. Then they get into position, and Naruto he yells at Gamabunta, thanking him and telling him that he'll take it from here. "Shukaku, you're going a little wild. Looks like I'm gonna have to tame you." Naruto's clones all hold out their arms, summoning roots, trees, and other foliage that all go attack Shukaku. When the wood style reaches him, it wraps like tendrils around his body, and with the help of all of his clones using wood style as well, he yanks Shukaku to the ground and suppresses his chakra. Sasuke is looking at this display of utter power and awe, completely struck with confusion by seeing Naruto at this level. Naruto then makes another clone that wakes Gaara up and forces him off of Shukaku. Then, through some Taka no Jutsu, Gaara is able to learn how and why Naruto is so strong. And after this, Naruto's will to continue fighting finally gives out, along with the rest of his bodily functions, as he falls to the ground, utterly and completely exhausted. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 4 to the What If Naruto was a Senju What If. Now, if you guys did like the video and you want another part within a week, make sure to just body slam that like goal, alright? It's 1.5k likes, so I think you guys should be capable of doing it. Anyways, as you guys know, the 2020 grind is still on. We're still out here putting out daily content if possible. I'm still working as hard as possible on the project that I've been talking about. I've been mentioning it in every once in a while video. Depending on if I stream or not, I may mention it or even explain what it is. But anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you guys do want to interact with me on a more personal level, do hit the like button, just cause. And also follow the links down below. And if you're new and haven't already done so, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss out on more content from me. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and as always guys, this is AnimeX, signing off.